Welcome back to the open road. It's another cold fall day here in Spokane, Washington, and winter is almost upon us. So you might be looking for an all-wheel drive SUV like the 2014 Mazda CX-9. But the CX-9 is virtually unchanged from 2013, so can it still hold up, or is it getting a little long in the tooth? I'm Alex Lefriec, let's hit the open road. As usual, let's start with the exterior of the CX-9. Overall, I think it's a pretty nice looking car. Sort of reminds me of the small Volvo crossover, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Our model, which is the Grand Touring trim level, also includes these 20-inch wheels, which look awesome, but have one big downside that we shall get to later. The interior of the CX-9 is sort of a mixed bag. I like the seats, and our tester comes with heated seats, navigation, Sirius satellite radio, Bluetooth connectivity, a sunroof, and even rear heated seats for the little minions in the back. But there are some areas where this car is in big need of a refresh. The first is the instrument cluster. It's sort of one of Mazda's older models, and it's got the parking neutral, drive going down the middle, and then this random kind of digital number system that tells you what gear you're in with a little tiny screen below that. But then you've also got little screens along the dash right here that can tell you some information. It looks outdated. It looks cobbled together. Right below that, the key has been replaced by one of those caps because it's now a keyless system, but you can tell that the whole thing needs a refresh. Moving down, the screen is too small and still uses Mazda's old infotainment system. Hopefully they'll update it with the awesome infotainment system like you get in the 3. So there's just a number of things in this car that are starting to show its age on the interior. So hopefully for 2015, they will update those things and it should be a real winner. For my money, the CX-9 is just about the perfect size SUV. Backseat legroom and headroom are good. The seats can slide forward and back to give you more flexibility. And this does have third row seating. Can an adult sit back there? Well, it depends. Emmanuel Lewis is going to be just fine. Joe Lewis is going to have a problem. Cargo room varies from decent to excellent depending on what rows of seats you want to put down, and Mazda has included a power liftgate. All trim levels of the CX-9 are powered by a 3.7-liter dual overhead cam V6, producing 273 horsepower and 270 pound-feet of torque. The CX-9's V6 is mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission. The whole package will get you 16 mpg in the city and 22 on the highway for a very unimpressive 18 mpg combined. Which is a real shame because Mazda is getting unbelievable gas mileage out of the new 3 and 6. I can only imagine that this engine needs a big refresh and a little shot of Sky Active. Driving dynamics on the CX-9 are wonderful or terrible depending on where you live. If you live somewhere that has smooth roads, the CX-9 is going to be just awesome. The steering is on the heavy side, but it's precise. This car corners really flat. It, along with the new Acura MDX, are two of the best driving SUVs on the market from a sporting standpoint. But that sporting pedigree has some unintended consequences. The ride on this car is really, really harsh, and the 20-inch alloy wheels we've got make it even worse. So when you live somewhere with crappy roads like good old Spokane, Washington, it just makes for a really unpleasant experience. You just can't live with it day to day. And while I can sort of commend Mazda for creating this sort of sporty SUV, I think they got their priorities wrong. In a people hauler like this, I would put ride comfort and passenger comfort paramount and sportiness next. So if you live somewhere with good roads, have at it. If you don't, I'd look somewhere else. The CX-9 starts at just under 30 grand. Our tester, the Grand Touring with all sorts of goodies, comes in at just over 40. And honestly, I can't recommend it over competition like the Kia Sorento or Honda Pilot. The ride is just too jarring, the interior is in need of a refresh, and the gas mileage is abysmal. If Mazda addresses some of these issues in 2015, this could be a real winner. Thanks so much for watching. I'm your host, Alex Lefriec. We'll see you next time on The Open Road.